weekend. I know that I did. Where I live, we had really, really nice weather on both Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, me and my family ended up celebrating Father's Day a day early because that's when most of us was available. And so we ended up having a nice cookout in my backyard. Um, we had some dynamite. We made burgers on the grill. We had some hot dogs on the grill. Hi, Calby. And so, yeah, Saturday was a really nice day. We had an awesome cookout to celebrate Father's Day. And it was really nice to see my dad in good spirits and in a good mood and just overall just happy with having family over. And then on Sunday, he made significant progress in his recovery from his double lung transplant. I believe I mentioned this on the Friday stream. I had talked about how my dad had a double lung transplant in early 2025. And I would say the first year of his recovery was really, really hard on the whole family. Um, Post surgery, he was in and out of the hospital, in and out of rehab, um, and just the immense amount of medications you have to be on after a surgery of that significance was so overwhelming. Um, I'm not going to get too deep into it on this stream, um, but I mean that could be a whole YouTube series on what a recovery looks like after a double lung transplant. But overall, it was a really nice weekend between the cookout and on Sunday I took my dad on the bike path, and he wanted to see how far he could walk, and he ended up walking a quarter of a mile, and I was really proud of him. Even a month ago, he wouldn't be able to do that. So to see him out there doing normal things again, um, he's able to drive again. He wasn't able to drive for 3 years, and things seem to be getting better around here, and I'm very happy about that. Calby, you know me? Where do you know me from? Are you just kidding? Sorry for the late response. I just kind of ramble on to start these streams. Where do you know me from? Trying to see your. Hang on a second. Your name isn't ringing a bell. Is Kelby your real name? Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, we've had a really nice stretch of weather here up where I live. We've had 3 weekends in a row where both Saturday and Sunday were absolutely fabulous weather-wise. All right, Calby. Kind of figured you were joking. Hi, Best Page. I'm doing well. Happy to have Monday over with. I always feel like I'm so happy when Friday gets here, and it's like before I can even turn around, Monday smacks me in the face, and it's back to reality with another work week. I don't know where the time goes. Best Page, what is this about? I work in, I don't want to give away too many details about what I do for work, but I am an electronics technician. I'm open to talking about a lot of things, but a couple of things I don't ever want to talk about on stream is I don't really want to talk too much about my job, and obviously I don't want to dox myself and give away too many details so people can figure out where I live. Outside of those two things, I'm pretty open. So how was everyone's weekend? What do you end up doing? Hi, Luna. Just chilling. Oh, oh, very, very nice. Honestly, I'm like pushing myself to do this stream. I didn't really want to do a live stream tonight. I find that like Mondays after work, I don't know if it's like just about getting in the routine, but I just feel like I'm pretty tired after work on Mondays. I don't know quite why. And as the week goes on, I feel better. Luna, you're talking to me? Yeah, the thing, Luna, is like I can always find reasons to not do a live stream. So even when there's days I don't really want to do them, I kind of push myself to do them anyways, just to get in the right mindset. Hi, Kayla, welcome. Yeah, like I feel like you can always find a reason to not do things. It's always easier to not do things than to do them and follow through. Oh, thank you very much, Luna. Yeah, so even on days I don't want to do the live streams, I'm gonna push myself to do it anyways. Hi, I like your profile picture. Oh, thank you very much. Luna, have you checked out any of my YouTube shorts? I have a bunch of them on there. Thank you. Yeah, YouTube changed recently. Typically, when I went on my home page, it would tell me how many videos I've posted, and now I don't see that anymore. Like they leave out that detail. But I think I'm over 1,000 videos. Thank you, Luna. Yeah, I have quite a bit of videos on there if you want to check them out sometime. But yeah, this past Saturday, it was so nice to finally cook on the grill. It was our first time cooking on the grill, and it was nice to have family over and enjoy good food. It was a really nice time. Neva, thank you very much for the sub. Of course you can. Of course you can. I appreciate anyone that comes in here and wants to have a conversation. I appreciate anyone that subscribes to my channel. Oh yeah, what's for dinner? I already had mine. I ate far too much food tonight. I had what I had when I go home from work. I had an apple. I had blueberries. I had Thai ravioli with ginger sauce, and then I had some leftover cake from the weekend. Nachos, nice. I haven't had those in a very long time. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I can't even remember the last time I had nachos. I like nachos. I just never think to have them. Neva, nice. So you having a snack for dinner? You're just having popcorn. That's it. The thing I find with popcorn is I can only eat it if it's like hot out of the microwave. Once it cools down, I have trouble eating it. Neva, is that because you're not too hungry? Yeah, it's got to be hot, and it's going to have plenty of butter. Popcorn and a movie go hand in hand, that's for sure. That just made me think of like I'm trying to think of the last time I went to the movies and had popcorn. It's been a minute. I feel like we're all using streaming services now. Not many people go out to the movies anymore. It's actually quite sad. It used to be something that I enjoyed doing. I have not seen the new Toy Story, but it just came out last week, correct? Toy Story 5? My best friend's wife went to go see Toy Story 5 at the movies. She said it was really good. So I will definitely be watching it at some point. Digital Circus 9. Cool. Sounds like a good time. I mean, I would still enjoy going to the movies. It's just something I haven't done in a while. The last time I probably went was sometime last year. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. So I obviously got to watch 5. Um, do I play any games? Are you referring to board games or video games? Oh, wow, Luna. Yeah, sometimes those sad moments can bring out some emotions. Definitely. So, okay, no problem. Neva, so you're talking about video games? I do play video games. All right, Luna, no problem. Enjoy your dinner. Um, I was gonna say hi back, and then I saw the screen name. I'm like, I better not say that live. Uh, Neva, like, I don't know, like the video games I play. I don't play nearly as many video games as I used to. Um, but like Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge. You don't think I can bite my lip and smile at the same time? I don't know if I pull that off. I think it'll look quite goofy. Good one though. You almost got me. I almost did it. I almost did it. Oh, I do not play Astro Playroom. I've watched people play Astro Playroom, but I've never played it myself. Honestly, between like working and like house chores and like you know everything there is to do in life, when I'm not doing YouTube, I'm kind of just chilling. But I feel like between work and like chores around the house and YouTube and spending time with friends, I feel like outside of that, there never seems to be time to do anything. I know, but chores never go away. The kitchen always has to be cleaned. I mean, it's nuts. And in my house, I'm the only person that cleans primarily, so I'm always cleaning. But I like a clean house, so I do it anyways. I don't think many people like chores. I can't think of anyone that does the dishes and they just say to themselves, "Boy, I love doing this." They're just things that have to be done. But I am grateful for having a dishwasher. It does help. So your cousin comes over and messes up your whole house, and he doesn't pick up after himself. Oh, that would drive me crazy. But honestly, like I'm a clean freak. When people come over the house, I make them take their shoes off at the door. I don't allow shoes in the house. Oh my god, that must drive you crazy. What are cousins for, right? Yeah, I bet. Who knows? Maybe in the future we can buy a robot to do all these household duties we don't want to do, right? Have a robot made with AI. I live in New England, Northeast. What about you? I am a New Englander. UK, huh? So, what time is it in the UK? I actually have family heritage that goes back, that dates back to Germany. So if I ever visit Europe, I'd like to go check out Germany. Wow, it's midnight, huh? So you guys are 5 hours ahead of us. So you're up kind of late, huh? Are you like a night owl? It's okay, Neva. Military time, huh? I'm kind of a night owl myself. Like if I had it my way, I would stay up till midnight every night and then wake up at like 8 a.m. I feel like that's my happy place for like staying up and sleeping in. I just feel like that's like the perfect. Like I feel like midnight's a good time to go to bed, and 8 a.m. is a good time to get up. You're getting your 8 hours of sleep. You get to sleep in a little bit. Lincoln Gaming, you remember me? Your screen name looks very familiar. Yep, Scotland, huh? Nice. How is Scotland, anyways? Like I've always heard that people in Scotland are very friendly. All right, Lincoln, bye. Thanks for entering the chat, though. There's a heat wave in England, UK, like 32 degrees. Wouldn't that be cold? Or are you talking about Celsius? Yeah, but 32 degrees isn't hot. Did he mean to put something else, Chris? Did he mean like 82 or something? But 32 degrees isn't hot. That would be cold. That would be cold enough for snow. knew we'd get a 6-7 in here. It was only a matter of time. Grisby, you said 32 degrees. You said a heat wave and then you said 32 degrees, so that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what degrees has it been in Fahrenheit? Hi, Lucy. Welcome. Nice to have you in the chat. Even though you came in with the 6-7 meme, we'll still welcome you. Or at least I will. Yeah, 6-7 was a big 2025 meme, but I still see people using it this year. Okay, Grizz. Here in the United States, we use Fahrenheit. So like hot here would be like 80 to 90 degrees. And for us to be considered to have a heat wave, it has to be 90 degrees 4 days in a row. And then they will call that a heat wave. Emma, I live in New England. Yeah, Grizz. Like I don't really like heat waves, honestly. Perfect weather for me is like 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit with a nice dry heat. I'm not crazy about the weather. Like the summertime, like our hottest month is July. So we'll have some heat waves where it's like in the 90s with a very high humidity. Oh wow, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I hope you have air conditioning. But I still prefer hot and humid weather over the cold because I can still be outside doing things. Um, I can't stand the cold weather at all. Oh, geez, Neva. How did that happen? Did he spend too much time outside? Was he not drinking enough water? All right, Neva, take care. $120 degrees? Wow. At 120 degrees, I don't even know if I would bother going outside. That's way too hot. And if I did, it would just be to go to my car and blast the air conditioning to go somewhere else. I don't think I would hang out outside in 120-degree temperatures. How's everyone doing out there? Feel free to enter the chat. I promise I don't bite. I do play video games, yes. Not as much as when I was younger, but I still do play video games. What about you? What kind of games you into? Do you play sports games? You play Call of Duty? Um, I like a good open world game, um, like a Red Dead Redemption or a Grand Theft Auto. You know, like good open world AAA games. I also like playing sports games too. And then some of the other games I'm into, you might not be familiar with them. Oh wow, you're still rocking the Xbox 360, huh? Nice, nice. So your Xbox 360 works, huh? Because I'm thinking like that's the 360 came out in I wasn't it 2006, and then I went from 2006 to 2013, I believe, right? And then 2013, the Xbox One came out with the PS4. Wow, that's cool. You have an old system. I have an old '05. So it came out 1 year before PS3. I have a PS3 Fat from 2008. I kind of wish it was the 2006 version because with the 2006, it also plays PS2 games in it too. It's like backwards compatible, but the 2008 model I have isn't backwards compatible. Wow. November 22nd, 2005. That's making me feel old. That's awesome. So you have the Xbox 360 Elite. Cool. I mean, if you take care of the systems, they can last a very long time. I actually just disassembled my Xbox Series X, and I bought an air duster on Amazon, and it's actually pretty powerful, but it has like different size tips on it. So once you open up the console, you can blow like all the dust off the heatsink inside the console, and you can give it a good cleaning. Skate 3. I am familiar. I never played it, but I'm familiar with it. I've seen people playing it on YouTube. I love the old consoles, honestly. Brings back a lot of good memories. Chris, how old are you? Oh, that's so cool. One thing I miss about the old systems is like all the like I know like current gen also does this, but I miss how everything used to be a disc. There was no such thing as buying a digital game. So you you came across as like a little older because you're playing on like an Xbox 360 Elite and you're 16. Wow, good for you. You're saving yourself a lot of money because those new systems are like 800-900 bucks now. I think when I bought the Series X back in 2020, I only paid 500 bucks for it, and now I'm pretty sure it's like something like $800. Yep, Warfare was really good. Black Ops 2. Yep. I can't imagine you can play those online anymore, though. It's probably not supported, right? Because you're playing on the 360. To be honest, though, with the Call of Duties, I always preferred playing through the campaign versus playing people online. Because I found that, the few times that I would play online, like there would be some people that would hang out, they would hide in the same spot. Yeah. The last Call of Duty I played was probably 6 years ago. It was Call of Duty Cold War. It was um, it was the Call of Duty that came out with the launch of the new systems, PS5 and Xbox Series X. Oh, nice, Chris. Nice. Honestly, I hope they don't come out with any new systems anytime soon. I think the current gen is fine. Because that is as it is. I don't think a lot of these developers get the full potential out of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. I think when GTA 6 comes out, we will see the full potential of these systems finally. Chris, do you think you're going to play GTA 6 when it comes out? Do you think that's a game you're going to play? I also had PS4, PS5. Nice. Chris, whatever you do not bring a used console into GameStop because they're not going to give you a good price for it. Hi, Heather. I remember you. Um, One of my biggest regrets was I had a PS3 Slim, and it was literally in perfect condition, not one single scratch on it. And I don't know what I was thinking at the time. Um, I brought it into GameStop, and they gave me like $40 for it. And it was like I remember the next day I like immediately regretted it. I wish I would have just hung on to it. Chris. Yes, I did shout out Heather on the last stream. That is true. That is very true. Nice to have you back in here, Heather. Giving you another shout out. I have not played God of War. No. I've played Gears of War 5. There's just so many games out there. It's impossible to play all of them. Oh, Grizz, you don't think you'll be old enough to play GTA 6? Is that what you're saying? Well, in 2 more years, you'll be 18, right? You'll be considered an adult. Yeah, I never played the other Gears of War. The only Gears of War I played was 5, and it was really good. I think it was the first game I played on the Xbox Series X. Heather, how did your friend's brother accidentally break her PS4? Did she drop it? Did he drop it, I mean? That's that sucks. Oh, nice. So you played both of those. Oh my god. That's an expensive drop. If that would have been an iPhone, it would have been all right. The iPhones are almost indestructible. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped mine. Um, I was playing basketball one time, and I forgot to take my iPhone out of my back pocket. And there was a point in the basketball game where it fell out of my pocket. I went up for a rebound, and my all my weight came down on the phone, which was sitting on the concrete. And I had one of those screen protectors covering the screen. That cracked like it was supposed to, and I took it off, and my iPhone screen was actually okay, and the phone was fine. And I weigh 170 pounds. So if that doesn't break an iPhone, I don't know what will. Well, Left for Dead is like 20 to 25 pounds in my local. Wow, Jesus. Grizz, that's kind of pricey, right? Haha, that's funny, Heather. It's easy to respond to people on here. I mean, I don't have many people that come in here, but I can imagine if you have like a really big YouTube channel and you have like 1,000 people in the chat, It's impossible to keep up with everybody. Yeah, Chris, that's kind of crazy. What year did Left 4 Dead come out? Do you remember? 2008. Yeah, that's a really old game for it to be that pricey. So how's your day going, Heather? Have I ever gone into the store to get a game and they rejected my purchase? No, that's never happened personally. Will that happen if you're like under 18 and it's rated M for mature? Maybe I could see it happening then. Especially if it's a violent game. Whereas I actually never personally had an Xbox Series X. I had a PS3. Oh, awesome. What grade are you in? Yeah, that makes sense, Heather, because it is June. School typically ends in June. And you'll be on summer vacation. Sounds exciting. I used to look so forward to summer vacation. But then the teachers would always give us these book assignments. They would give us these reading assignments to do for the summertime. It's crazy. But Chris, one of my um I feel like for the PS3, the Uncharted series was really good. Hey, Starfizz, welcome. I remember you. Oh, nice, Heather. Well, you have the whole summer break to look forward to. Make sure you get outside and enjoy the outdoors. It's better than being in school, right? Starfizz, how's your day? But yeah, Grizz, I would say like the Uncharted series was really good for the PS3. Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty long series, the Uncharted series. No, you saw that YouTube Shorts? It's true though. Like people be doing the stupidest things in horror movies. For real. Glad you enjoyed it, Noah. Same for you, Starfist. Summer break. My first console would be the original Nintendo, and obviously I was very young, so I was living with my mom, and we had a really nice finished basement. And I remember I had my whole video game setup down there. That's where I had my Nintendo, and I would play the original Mario downstairs in the basement. And I had a crap load of games for that. I think I had 20 to 30 games for Nintendo. And with the original Nintendo, I remember like a lot of times you would go to play a game when it wouldn't work, and you would literally have to take the game cartridge out, and you would have to blow inside the cartridge and then plug it back in, and then it would work. The kids nowadays have no idea what it used to be like to play old video games. Yeah, Grizz, it was a long time ago. So like, I'm trying to think. When I was playing the original Nintendo, I was probably like 6 years old. So we're talking 1991. Yep. Well, I'm 40 years old, so I go back a little ways. That's another one of my regrets. I wish I would have had the presence of mind to keep any console that I ever had. But you know, when you're a kid, you're not really thinking like that. Grizz, it was an awesome decade. It was an awesome decade for video games. It was an awesome decade for cartoons. We had this station called Nickelodeon, and they had a lot of really cool cartoons in the '90s. Yep. My favorite cartoon in the 1990s was a cartoon called Real Monsters. Yeah, Grizz, you know what's sad? You bring up the mall. The sad thing is, like, in the United States, like we've been losing a lot of malls. A lot of malls have been closing down, which is really sad because it's something I've always enjoyed doing. Um, oh, nice. I was actually thinking about making a live stream of a mall within an hour of my house, and it's a mall that's like ever since 2015. It's like literally every time I go in there, there's another store that's closed down. And like this mall, when you go in there now, it's kind of like a ghost town. There's not much that exists there anymore. So I was thinking about making a live stream so people could see what a dead mall looks like. Um, it's a three-story mall, and there used to be a Sears there. And I want to say 7 or 8 years ago that Sears moved out. So like the entrance to where the Sears used to be, it's all like caged up, so you can't go in there, and it's like pitch black. It's really really freaky. Yeah. Yep. But I was thinking, people like seeing like things like that on YouTube. So I was thinking about making a live stream. Like the first floor of the mall looks okay, but the higher up you go, like by the time you get to the third floor, the food court only has one restaurant. Like the six other restaurants are completely closed down. And then on the whole third floor, there may be like five or six stores left. Yeah, it was sad when Sears closed down. You could get a lot of cool things in there. Hi, person, welcome. But yeah, the specific mall that I'm talking about, it's really sad, and I think eventually it's going to close. And it's like the very mall that I grew up going to, so it's sad to see it in the state that it's in with barely any stores left. Oh yeah, I've been to J.C. Penney plenty of times. Yep. Actually, I think J.C. Penney last time I was at this mall was still there, surprisingly, and Macy's still exists there. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be sad someday if like there's no malls to go to and you can only buy clothes online. Dillard's, I have never been. What kind of a store is that? Well, Grizz, you know what Dillard's is. How come I don't know what Dillard's is? Hi. A lot of things are overpriced. Hi, Mackenzie. Hi, Kaylee. But that's not like the old. the OG Toys R Us, like the standalone Toys R Us, like that place was the shit. Um, I remember when I think I was 9 or 10. Um, my dad took me into Toys R Us, and at that time, um, the two popular gaming consoles that were out were PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64. And I remember my dad's like, well, you can have one of them. So you have to pick either the PlayStation 1 or the Nintendo 64. And I think I ended up going with the PlayStation 1 because I thought I had better games at the time. And that ended up being a really, really good system. And then a couple of years later, I ended up getting the Nintendo 64. But you have to understand, like in the 90s, being a kid, going into a Toys R Us, it was amazing. And they would have like the gaming consoles hooked up to a TV so you could play them. Um, but I was completely blown away the first time I saw Mario 64. That was the first time we ever had like a 3D 64-bit game that was kind of open world. Yeah, Grizz, I know what you're talking about. Like if you go into, yeah, I think it's the Macy's, they'll have like a little Toys R Us section. But they used to be like big standalone stores. Yeah, N64 was an awesome system. The only thing I didn't like about it was I thought the controllers were a little weird, but they had a lot of good games. Um, GoldenEye 007 was a really good game for the Nintendo 64. And you guys are bringing me way back. Grizz, I'm surprised you know all this stuff being 16 years old. Like, you know about the Nintendo 64, you have the Xbox 360 Elite. I would swear you're older. We weren't talking about movies, though. We were talking about video games. I had the GameCube. I had the Dreamcast, too. Yep. Chris, I'm surprised how far back you go for your age. It's pretty impressive. You must really enjoy the history of video games. You have the original Game Boy? It still works, huh? Sega. You ever play Sonic and Knuckles? That was my favorite Sonic and Knuckles. Just the music in that game is nostalgic. It takes me back. I feel like most of the new games that come out now just don't have the same feel. Nintendo Wii, yep. I I bought a Nintendo Wii off of Facebook Marketplace a while back, and I had it for a few months, and then I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace where I got it from for 80 bucks. So I ended up making 20 bucks on it, and I got to use it for a few months. That worked out pretty good. Blake Wheeler, yes, I do remember you. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful day. What are you up to? But Chris, yeah, you really know your video games. There was a Sega Saturn too. Chris, do you remember Sega Saturn? That was way before your time. And I remember at the time, I had one of my best friends living above me. He lived the second floor, I lived the first floor. And at the time, I had a PlayStation 1. He had a Sega Saturn. And we would always have these debates about what system was better. And my argument was it's not about the system, really. It's about the games. And like the PlayStation 1 had way more games than Sega Saturn. Way better games. So Blake Wheeler, you are just entering chapter 2? Grizz, I never played Atari. I never played that. There was another Atari, right? Atari Jaguar. It was a 64-bit system like the N64. Hi, Mackenzie. Yeah, I wish like at the time I would have bought the Atari Jaguar when it came up because it's one of those rare systems you don't see that much of. But like the last time I looked on eBay at an Atari Jaguar, they wanted $800 for it. It's a weird looking system. Like look up Atari Jaguar. The controllers look so weird. But it would be a cool system to have to add to the collection. The original Xbox green. Yeah, that would be rare to have. I remember one year for Christmas, I had the original Xbox, but it was like one of those jailbroken ones where it had like Nintendo games on it, Sega games on it. It had like 1,000 games like built into the system. I don't even know where it came from. It was given to me as a gift. Hi, Morgan. How many friends do you have with you, Heather? Yeah, Minecraft does go back a ways. That's like one of those games that never end. There's no end point to Minecraft until you die, and then you got to start all over again. Yeah, isn't there a mode on Minecraft? There's a certain mode on Minecraft where if you die, like whatever village you built, you have to start all over again. Probably Pac-Man. Okay, Heather. And they're both with you right now? '70s and '60s, huh? We used to have these old flea markets, and I would go to them once in a while, and they would sell like really old computers like that. I miss those old flea markets. There's less and less of them that exist nowadays. But it was kind of like just that element of surprise where you never knew quite what you were going to come across at a flea market. Sometimes you can find things and make a good amount of money off of them. Grizz, I do not. Yes, I know this is a bad habit, cracking my knuckles. I try not to do it too often. Perfect Dark Zero, heard of it, never played it. It's just one of those things where I don't game as often as I'd like to. It's more of a time thing. It's not that I don't want to. A lot of times what it comes down to is if I have the free time, it either comes down to making YouTube content or playing a video game. And most of the time, I elect to work on YouTube. Mm, number one, I would say um, Red Dead Redemption 2 for a variety of reasons. Number two, God, this is hard because I have to go way back. Um, I would say number two would be Twisted Metal 2 for the PS1. Number three would probably be Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PS3. Um, number four, um, any one of those old Tomb Raider games for the PS1. And number five, I would probably say like, I don't know, like Sonic and Knuckles on the original Sega Genesis. Burnout Paradise, I did play that game. I remember that game. Very good game. Hi, Farton. Welcome to the chat. Welcome on in. Burnout Paradise. Yep. The um the original Need for Speed for the PS1 was a lot of fun. I don't know why, but like I really enjoyed the Need for Speed for the PS1, but like the more modern Need for Speeds, I wasn't too crazy about. Gran Turismo was pretty cool. The old Gran Turismo, where you could customize the vehicles. But I felt like you really had to grind in that game. It was a lot of grinding. Yep, Project Gotham Racing, I've played that. Grizz, I didn't play Driver 2, but I played the original Driver on the PS1. And person, the only Fallout I played was Fallout 4, which was probably a mistake. Um, I think the only reason I got 4 is because it was on sale, but I know the earlier Fallouts were much better. I heard Fallout, was it New Vegas? Is that what it was called? I heard that Fallout was really good. Um, I haven't really been playing much of anything in my free time because I don't feel like there's any like new games that I'm excited to play. With the exception of GTA 6 on the horizon, I'm excited to play that when it comes out. Um, but I've been kind of holding off on buying any new games until that game comes out. Like I really like open world games, but I feel like if I play too much open world games, I get open world fatigue. And sometimes I can appreciate like an old school linear game where you can only go in one direction. I never played Breath of Fire 3. But person laughs. When I was a kid, I used to play a lot more video games when because I think um, shared experience, especially when it comes to video games, make it much more fun. And obviously, when I was young, friends were more available. Like we weren't, you know, none of my friends had kids, obviously, and weren't married, so we had more time for one another. So all those times when we get together and play video games, it made the experience much more fun. And now that we're all grown up and we're older, we have less time for each other. So a lot of times when I'm playing video games, it's by myself. So it doesn't have that same level of excitement, if you get what I mean. Person laughs. So the thing with Animal Crossing is I bought Animal Crossing That was, I think, the second game I bought for the Nintendo Switch, and then I bought Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I actually find myself playing Disney Dreamlight Valley more than Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing was cool though. I'm not hating on it, but I prefer Disney Dreamlight Valley. Um, Borderlands 3. Yep, I remember that game. Person laughs. I really do not believe GTA 6 will be delayed again. I really don't think it's going to be. November is the perfect month for it to come out. If you think about it, when it's slated to come out in November, I don't know what day in November, but like if you think about it, that's when the holidays are coming up. You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, the cold weather's getting here. Like that's the perfect time of year to like, hunker down, stay, just kind of hang out in your house, um, stay nice and warm, and like just play like a brand new exciting game to get through the winter with. It's a perfect time. Like the holidays is when people tend to slow down, right? So that's a perfect time to play a new game like that. Halo, I actually never got into it. The only Halo I played, I think, was like four, and then one of my friends was telling me like that was one of the worst Halos, so maybe that's why I never got into it. Because when Halo came out, um, at that time I was kind of like a PlayStation fanboy, so I didn't really even have at that point in time when Halo first came out, I didn't have an Xbox to play it on. Um, I was mostly playing PlayStation 2. I like the old Doom games, Doom 1 and 2. Doom 1 was the best one ever. The PS1 was awesome. I think the PS2 had the most commercial success, but for me, the PS1 was my favorite because that's really what I grew up playing was the PS1. Um, yeah, Grizz, if you have a chance, when you have time, um, search on YouTube for Twisted Metal 2. I had so much fun playing that game. That's what me and my friends would play like on a Friday night. We'd all get together and play Twisted Metal 2. But I love the original PS1 when you would turn it on, like the boot up sound that it would make with the PlayStation logo. It's so nostalgic. I person laughs. Yeah. There's just too many games to play and not enough time in the day. Chris, if you don't already have a YouTube channel, maybe you should start one day and have it be about video games, man, because you seem to know quite a lot about video games for your age, man. Maybe you could game stream. Metal Gear Solid, I never played those. Surprisingly. Oh, Sorry about that, Chris. Are you just in like timeout or did your channel get deleted? Yeah, YouTube's really strict on the copyright. Yeah, especially if like the video game you're playing, if it has like a copyrighted song, when you upload the video, um, YouTube will detect it and they'll give you like a copyright claim. Copyright claims are okay. It's the copyright strikes you don't want. Sorry about that, Chris. Copyright's a pain in the ass. It really is. Like when I do my live streams, I'd love to have like some music playing in the background, but it's not even worth the risk because it's going to get copyrighted. Person laughs. I don't know many jokes, honestly. Grizz, not right now. It's kind of honestly like it's pretty dark in my house, and I got a couple of people sleeping. I don't want to wake them up, or else I would. Oh, oh, thank you. So, do you guys like watching movies too, besides video games? FIFA, no. There's really not much to see in my room, honestly. I mean, you can see most of it right here. It's not too much going on, and then my bed's right there, so nothing spectacular. Oh yeah, Grizz? That'll be me soon. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, I'm just gonna kind of hang out in bed and listen to some YouTube videos. Jaws, that's a classic. I went to Martha's Vineyard a couple years back, and I went to the bridge where they shot a few scenes for Jaws. It was pretty cool. It's that scene where they all jump off the bridge into the water. Grizz, I started streaming. It says I've been streaming for 68 minutes. And when I first came on here, I planned to do it for about an hour, depending on if I had uh, good people in here or not. Because sometimes, like tonight, it's been pretty easy because you guys keep the conversation going. But sometimes when I have these streams, nobody talks. And so, like, whenever I get those sorts of streams, I kind of end the stream early. So it all depends how the stream goes. But this has been a really easy stream because we've spent most of it talking about video games, which is easy to do. The weirdest part is like when I can see there's like 5 people in the chat but nobody's talking. That can be kind of weird because you know they're watching you, but they're not saying anything. And then you kind of feel like you have to talk to fill out space so it's not quiet. If that makes any sense. Because I don't like awkward silence, honestly. I don't stream every night, um, but I've been streaming, I would say, 3 to 4 times a week. About that. Grizz, I do not play Fortnite, but I know people that do. Did you see that? It's not a recent story. It happened a couple of years ago, but there was a girl, I believe it was in China, and somehow she had access to her parents' credit card, and she kept purchasing online games, and she purchased over $64,000 worth of online games. And I don't know how the mom didn't notice all those transactions until her daughter racked up $64,000 worth of online games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have like a credit card or whatever, like, aren't you checking those statements monthly? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And how do you even spend $64,000 on online games? It doesn't even seem possible. Yep, it's a real story. You can look it up online. Girl spends $64,000 on online video games. It was her parents' life savings. She spent all of it. Like, that's why you need parental restrictions on your phone. Over $200. Well, it's not as bad as 64,000. What did your grandma say when she realized? Yeah, I bet. She must have been shocked when she saw um, $200 were charged on her card. Yeah, so many people play Roblox. Oh, God. What time do you guys get up in the morning? I get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. As you can tell, I'm looking a little tired. Yeah, I honestly think GTA 4 was better than GTA 5. It had a way better story. It's about an immigrant that's trying to make it here in America. So, it's like a believable story, and it's kind of like a sad story at the same time. Um, Whereas I feel like GTA 5 wasn't serious enough. I felt like 5 was kind of goofy with the three characters. Yeah, GTA 4 takes place in New York City. The only thing I will say is the graphics are pretty bad because it's an old game. But if you can get past the poor graphics, the story is really good. But I will say with 4, one of the annoying things is if you die, you have to start over from the beginning. Whereas that's one thing GTA 5 did good, where there would be there would be multiple checkpoints during the mission. So like if you died, you wouldn't start over like all the way at the beginning of the mission. You would start over at that very checkpoint that you died at. So that's why I feel like GTA 5 excelled over GTA 4. Welcome back, Personal Laughs. So yeah, that's the only annoying thing about 4 is when you die, you have to start the mission all over again. And the driving mechanics in GTA 4 are much different than GTA 5. The like when you drive the vehicles in 4, they feel like they have like more weight to them. They drive like more realistic than GTA 5. So yeah, if you're used to GTA 5, it's going to take you some time to get used to the controls in GTA 4. Yeah, certainly did. I will always say this, the 90s was the last great decade. Because the 90s was my childhood, and obviously kids in the 90s did not have cell phones, so we would spend a lot of time hanging out, and we'd always be like very present with one another because we didn't have like phones to distract us. So like spending time with people was much different back then, where I feel like you can hang out with friends now and like everyone's just on their phone and people are like less present. And even I'm guilty of that. Thank you, Personal Laughs. I appreciate the subscription. I really do. As much as I love the iPhone, as much as I like technology in general, sometimes I wish I could go back and spend like a week in the 90s when we didn't have all this stuff. Chris, tell them to keep it. Keep that PS2. Yes, we were talking about malls because they are disappearing all over the place, which makes no sense to me because like a mall is a good place to go out with friends and socialize and buy some clothes, maybe check out a movie, grab a bite to eat. Like if it's a good mall, like it's like some malls have a movie theater, they have a good food court. You could easily spend a whole afternoon at a mall. Exactly, I would be the only one. It's okay. Just tell me I'm old. I won't get upset. Yeah, Miami's a pretty cool city. I went to Orlando a couple years ago, and I came within 10 feet of an alligator when I was in Orlando. 10 feet from one. The thing with Florida is any body of water that isn't the ocean, whether it be a pool, whether it be a lake, whether it be a pond, you almost have to assume there's an alligator in there. Honestly, just to be on the safe side. I saw this crazy. I didn't see how the video ended because it was on the news, but there was an old woman that was at least 90 years old, and she was walking her dog, and she was by a body of water, but she wasn't. She had her back to the body of water, and you could see an alligator come up out of the water, grab her by her calf, and I guess it pulled her into the water. Yep. Imagine that. You live to be 90 years old, and the way you die is an alligator drags you into the water. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, like when you're in Florida and you're by any body of water, like you have to pay attention all the time because those alligators are everywhere. What a stupid way to die, though. Honestly. Yeah. Do you guys remember like the old Pizza Huts? Um, Again, this is before your time, but like in the 90s, there was a lot of Pizza Huts, and they would have like a nice salad bar in the middle, and then they would have all the seating around the salad bar, so you could order your pizza, and while you were waiting for the pizza to come out, you could go to the salad bar and make yourself a salad. But I guess there was some like billionaire that bought up a bunch of Pizza Huts, and he wants to restore them back to like the '90s style Pizza Hut. So that'll be pretty cool if he accomplishes that. Oh, I remember the Chucky movies. The Chucky doll. He's creepy. Chuck E. Cheese. Yep. Remember the Chuck E. Cheese pizza? There's actually Chuck E. Cheese still exists, I believe, in some states. I don't know why this entered my mind, but I could swear that I saw Chuck E. Cheese frozen pizza at a grocery store somewhere. Yeah, oh yeah, the good old fashioned tickets. It's better than a card. It'd be exciting, like when you would win a bunch of tickets and you would see all the tickets coming out of the machine. That was cool. Those were the good times. And they also had another thing that was popular when I was a kid. We had these places called Roller Kingdom, and it's a place where you could go roller skating and rollerblading. And on top of that, they would also have like an arcade room and a food court. So it's a place like us kids could go hang out after school. We could go rollerblade, and then we could go play at the arcade and get a bite to eat at the food court. And it was a really cool place to hang out. And then the specific roller kingdom that was in my town, unfortunately, it ended up burning down, and they never rebuilt another one. Oh yeah, yep, oh yeah, yeah. Everything's on a card now. Everything doesn't have the same feel. I'm having trouble staying awake, guys. The only place I can think that's similar is like Dave and Buster's. No, Grizz, I did not see that movie. Person laughs. I don't know. I'm not really like into like always having to have a goal, but like one of my main goals right now is growing my YouTube channel and being alive tomorrow. I just think like society puts way too much pressure on people all the time that you always have to have goals every day. You have to have a big house, you have to have a nice car, you have to have this, you have to have that. I think like a successful life looks different to everyone because we all have different, we all have different goals, we all have different aspirations. It's like as long as as long as you can as long as like when you become an adult you can pay your bills and you're responsible, just try to do things that bring you fulfillment. Don't live for other people. Hi, Luna. We need to bring the moonwalk back. No one did it like Michael Jackson. How do I think the world could be a better place? Um, I think to make the world a better place, unfortunately, it comes down to politics. Um, like, I think we should have a universal health care for everybody, so we can all be on the same health insurance, and it wouldn't have to be overly complicated. I think I think education shouldn't be so expensive. If you want to go to college and you want to further your studies and better yourself, I don't think that you should have to mortgage your future in order to do so. Um, College is far too expensive for the average person. I think we're the only. I think the United States is the only country where people go into considerable debt to further their education. So I think if we had a better healthcare system and college was more affordable, I think those two things would make the world a much better place. Chris, the only Forza that I played was Forza 4 and Forza 5. Luna, you live in the US too? Yeah, college is crazy expensive in the US. It is crazy expensive. I don't know how you can graduate. You get like $100,000 in debt, and then you still have to pay rent. You still have to pay groceries. You still have to pay for your health insurance. You still have to pay for your car insurance. You still have to pay for gas. You still have to pay for utilities. It doesn't even make any sense anymore. Yeah, Grizz, you said you lived in the UK, right? So I believe education over there is socialized, right? You can go to college for free, I believe, in Europe. Um, so my favorite sport is football, followed by basketball, hockey, and baseball. Um, my favorite football team is the Denver Broncos. My favorite basketball team is the Utah Jazz. My favorite hockey team is the Colorado Avalanche. And my favorite baseball team is the Atlanta Braves. It's funny, I live in New England, but I don't root for any of the local teams around here. No, I do not, Luna. Yes, I'm all around. I think those are just teams that I gravitated towards when I was a kid, and then I just never grew out of it. They just remain my favorite teams for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yep. Yeah, the World Cup is going on right now. It's as you know. Oh, nice, Luna. Nice. Person last. I would like to talk about a lot of things. If this was a Friday night, I would probably stay on here for another 2 hours. But seeing as how it's Monday night and I still got the rest of the work week to get through, I'm probably going to have to end the stream now. But I will be on a couple more times this week. So I hope to see you guys back on here. I've really enjoyed the conversation. Gris, you've been great. Personal laughs, you've been great. Luna, nice to have you in here. I hope I see you guys on a future stream, and we can continue where we left off. How does that sound, Luna? See you next time. I'll be here again. Um, Possibly Wednesday night, and it would probably be between like 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. All right, personal laughs. I'd love to see you on the next stream if you can manage to make some time for it. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Wednesday night. All right, guys. All right, guys. Nice talking to you, and I hope to talk to all of you again very soon. Take care, guys.